Good morning, everybody. My topic is a little different. I believe in collaborative work, so my topic is on group practice, from me to we. Now, is there really a need to join hands with your colleagues? Of course. It's a changing society, it's a more demanding society. Patients are more demanding, they are more knowledgeable, and they would like to receive specialist treatment wherever they go. Added to that is the rising cost of modern medicine. Now, modern medicine is no longer child's play. All the equipment, all the input that is required, including the marketing, is huge. And it is expected to become even more. At the same time, while you're investing in your practice in technology, in marketing, in administration, you are also expected to become efficient and to contain costs. That is the reason we need to think of new models and to reorganize rather than being forced to do so by the circumstances around us. Now, there are too many players that are after the lone doctors. There may be insurance companies, TPAs, corporates. There are other group practices, and of course, the marketing executives and pharma giants who are after you. So, to survive this onslaught, rather than to try doing it alone, it's always a good practice to join hands and to synergistically work with your colleagues to build a group practice. And what advantages does a group practice offer? Of course, you share the cost of equipment. You improve the utilization of the facility that you have built. As an individual doctor, you may be able to utilize the operation theatre for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours a day. If you have 5 people, you can have it running all the time and improve your efficiency. You can ensure specialist care to your patients as and when required. If you are an anti-segment person, you don't need to send the patient outside for a retina referral or a cornea referral. If you are a cornea person, you can get a retina referral at your place. I am a retina person, I can get a good cataract opinion at my place if I am working in a group with my specialist colleagues. When you are in solo practice, you are sometimes forced to hire lower quality and lower paid staff. You can hire better quality staff, more staff, and maximally utilize that staff if you are in a group practice. Of course, the administrative headaches and the marketing responsibilities are also shared when you are with your colleagues. So what's wrong with solo? There's nothing wrong with solo. Absolutely nothing wrong. You can do solo practice. There are several solo practitioners, but and the advantages are that you make your own decisions. You don't really have to argue with anybody. You decide your own working time, you decide on your direction of future growth, and whatever money you make is yours. However, let's start rethinking from a beginner's perspective. The equipment costs are huge, and even though a solo phacosurgeon requires less than a group practice, when 4 or 5 people are doing it and utilizing the same equipment, you can share the costs. Now, individuals may have their own individual requirements. For example, a cornea guy may require a Shin-Flu camera, a retina guy may require a vitrectomy machine, and these are costs that they will have to bear in their private practices also if they were doing it individually. However, OT peripherals, microscope, consultation room, automatic equipment, this can always be shared. No doctor is going to sit 24 hours in his consultation or 24 hours in the OPD. So that equipment can easily be shared. Of course, the big advantage is in your own small startup center, you can provide the most advanced technology available and you have access to all the specialty equipment. For example, if you are an anti-segment person and you see a keratoconus case, in your beginning 3 or 4 years of practice, I don't think you would be buying a Shin-Flu camera. But if you have a group practice with a cornea surgeon, of course he may be having it and you can get your patient that investigation and an expert opinion as well. Now, if you're still pondering, staff sharing is a huge advantage, it's an absolutely huge advantage. Just imagine one guy hiring 5 people and 5 such guys hiring 25 people. But if you don't have 25 people, the 5 guys work together, even if you have about 15 people, that can be easily managed and you can reduce the cost of 10 people. Same goes for administration. Each of your partners can handle one typical department. Somebody can take care of procurement, somebody can take care of human resources, somebody who is financial savvy can take care of the finances, and so forth for marketing also. What do you gain in the bargain? You don't have to sit till 11 o'clock in your clinic. Your work, even if your work increases, it is shared. You can have good quality family time. Now, is GP an idealistic myth? Is group practice an idealistic myth? No, of course not. It is a very practical and mutually beneficial synergistic system. You have better patient care, you have cross opinion and referrals under one roof. Even the large solo practices hire other people. So in effect, they are group practices. No single guy can stand up and say, I do retina, I do oculoplasty, I do cataract, I do refractive, and I do cornea, all at the same level of care that a patient may get from a properly trained fellow. Now, that improves the quality of service, the lower cost of care, the better equipped center, and you may be able to get less profitable technology, but the latest technology, which you would be thinking all the time in your solo practice, should I buy or should I not? What is the return on investment? Will I alone with my practice be able to afford it? All of those tensions get taken care of. Of course, you get leverage. Suppose you are ill in a solo practice, that is the end of your practice. If you come to AIOS, those 4 days nobody is sitting there. If you have a good practice, there are people to take care of your patients behind you. You can very well operate on the very last day also. In a good practice, you will be able to invest in a slightly bigger setup, a setup that looks better, it attracts more patients and less doubts. When 4 people are working together, patient has more faith than the voice of an individual single doctor. Now, there are several ways you can go about group practice, but the common theme is you share the expenses, you share the administrative duties, and you share the returns. Even some of the biggest institutes are basically group practices. Now, the best option is, among all the options for group practices, you must have clear goals. Whether you want to go solo or group, you have to agree on the goals of a group practice. There will be advantages and disadvantages for both, and you better study all the available options before deciding upon who your partners are going to be in your group practice. Now, there are certain golden rules for group practice. It is coexistence and synergy. It is not dependence or parasitism. Don't think that you are going to join a senior colleague for group practice and take away his practice, or it is his responsibility to generate the patient load for you. No. It is your own responsibility, your own practice. With the zeal that you have in solo practice, you are supposed to join a group practice, and that is what makes it grow. You have to recognize the different strengths and weaknesses of people. I may not be very good at finances, but somebody else may be. I may be very good at marketing, and somebody else may not be. Now, when these people work together, they need to give each other the department that they work best in. Now, don't compare your deal with your partners. It is not always a 50-50 bargain. It sometimes may be plus or minus, but that's something that you need to adjust. And again, communication is a very vital point in group practice. Don't use lay staff or administrators to communicate between your partners. Do it directly, call up, and if you have any doubts, clear it. Now, maintaining GP is like a marriage. Keep your eyes wide open before the marriage and half shut afterwards. You may have to overlook certain things, you may have to adjust to certain things. And always believe in teamwork. Is there a motive to stick together? Of course. And you should have a common vision of what you should be able to create together. And if you have a realization that practicing alone would be worse than group practice, only then you should go into group practice. If you think that you are the best and nothing comes close to you, probably you are best off solo, otherwise that group practice is going to fail. Focus less on the faults of your partners. Better to invest time, effort, and your mind on grooming what is good within your group. Now, financial matters. Whenever you are in a group practice, of course, financial matters are always touchy. There are several modes of compensation. It may be production based on how much a person is generating for the group practice. It may be especially for the younger partners, it may be salary based. Or you may have a group-based compensation based on the whole hospital's output, and that can be distributed according to physician productivity. The senior members in the group practice always have to have in mind that the younger generation that is there with them may not have the same thought process as them, may not be as patient as them. But at the same time, juniors have to remember that it takes several years of hard work, whether it is group practice, solo practice, or institutional practice, and you don't become an overnight success. That overnight success has had a huge amount of work behind it. Now, respect the group for what is achieved before you, whenever you join the group practice, and learn early, but better rather than trying to grow fast, it is better to grow steadily. So everyone needs to learn to live with differences when you are in a group practice and enjoy the variety. So there is a common adage that says too many cooks spoil the broth, but coordinated performance can be shared delight too. So I will conclude my talk by saying that group practice is not a moral or a social obligation. You're not forced into it. You're free to have your private practices. And it is not for achieving easy money. Those who think that by joining a group practice, they are getting a patient base and easily they can get a practice and with minimal investment and have no personal time. No, that is not the only aim. The aim of group practice should be for doing better quality work, for joining hands with people and achieving more than you could have achieved individually. It is not a shortcut to success. You have to work hard in a group practice also, but it is a means to achieve a broader vision. So let us not be alone in spreading light in the society. Thank you.